Just recently, Senator Adams Oshiomole, who doubles as a comrade, openly accused the Nigeria generals that are retired but not tired of being behind the stealing, the thefts happening in the oil sector, the vandalization and exploitation of our natural resources illegally. However, since Oshiomole made that accusation, there have been a lot of controversies. There have been a lot of tantrums being thrown at the senator. As we speak now today, Oshiomole is out trying to do window painting, window dressing of what he stated. Probably because of the stones, probably because of the criticism, probably because of the hit back that has been meted on him since he made those accusations.
Some retired generals are not taking this lying low, as you would expect, as they have strongly discarded this narrative as a mere smear campaign aimed at bringing their years of service to disrepute. Let us actually start there before we dovetail into politics and maybe tax reforms and then the explosions all over the country. This allegation was actually by you, and you feel that the nation is not doing enough. Is there evidence to support your claim?
Well, I think sometimes the media takes statements out of context. I sat on that committee as a member of the Appropriation Committee. Okay. And the way the Senate works, every subcommittee submits its report to the Committee on Appropriation. And then we ask questions and they answer. And one of the complaints of the chairman of the Committee on Solid Minerals was that here is a sector where he measured particular nationalities who are not Nigerians, how these foreigners come in and cut away gold and other precious metals and solid minerals. And he gave an estimate as to what he thought we can earn as a nation. Yet another senator also said that, ironically, this is another statement in its own right. He said, ironically, Nigeria was searching for more solid minerals when they stumbled by accident to the liquid gold, the crude oil. So the objective was solid minerals, and then they found crude oil. And that, what an irony of it, that at the end of the day, today our mainstay is crude oil, and we are not making money from solid minerals. And they lament the way foreigners are coming to cut away these minerals. And so they were asking for more money for a certain agency to ensure that we develop our solid minerals
sector.
And the kind of resources we believe we can earn that might even be much more than we are earning from oil. I started a couple of countries that rely exclusively on solid minerals, even within the African continent. And I then reply that it is not that money is not being made from solid minerals. It is absolutely impossible for anyone, particularly foreigners far away outside the African continent, coming to Nigeria, locating a site, not be geologists, and they go straight to where they can find particular solid minerals, and they start mining it, and they take it away. So it may be correct to say government is not able to harvest, or to, harvest what accrues from solid mineral exploration. And that the illegality is being done, and people know who are behind it. I then give an example of myself. And one correction that must be made, and this is not fair on the part of those who report. At no time did I say retired generals. I have many friends who are retired and who are suffering, who can't change batteries in their car. They retire as pure military officers. They never did any quartermaster job. They never had any political exposure. Even the days of military rule. So it would be, as a matter of fact, not correct to suggest to anyone that all retired generals are involved in a particular crime. It's not sensible to say so. That would border on reckless, sweepy generalization. That is not what I said. I said the problem is that some, and I still believe it to be so, I know it to be so. I said some retired generals are involved. And somehow we are not deploying the same force as a nation that we deploy to protect our
oil in the Niger Delta.
Our oil in Niger Delta. And I said, a retired general who I had the honor of appointing and who graciously accepted to serve as a returning officer in a primary election when I was national chairman of APC. In his report back to me as chairman, after presenting the report of the primary, he said, Adams, you are worried about the primaries, but what he has seen is far more serious than that. And that the banditry that is evolving, or kidnapping, as it then was, or kidnapping, there was no use of the word banditry then, that those kidnappers, in the first instance, are in the services of very powerful, in his own word, powerful, some powerful retired generals. And the youth chopper, this was a retired general telling me to the illegal site as they take the mined gold and whatever is it that they are mining, they drop weapons to civilians who have been trained on the use of those weapons to provide protection for the illegal mining activity. He added that sometimes, of course, they offer that protection, but some other time they divert these arms to now terrorize innocent citizens, or sometimes kidnapping.
Yeah.
And I then said to him, there is no way I can comprehend
What he was
the
saying.
story because I have no military training or security training. And I pleaded with him to do a summary, not more than 2, maximum 3 pages, that I will submit as chairman of the ruling party at that time. I will submit to the president, who incidentally is a retired general before becoming the president of Nigeria. So he will understand the issues clearer, and advise him, put your phone number so that the president can call you if he so wish, and you can give him this detailed security dimension. Because he warned me that if that thing is not checkmated, what is happening in the Northeast will be a child's play. And he told me this gold run from that area all the way to Kaduna, all the way to the southwest, by the way, up to Osun State and elsewhere. I also know in my part of the state, there are solid minerals.
So what did the president
and so on. And so I took this letter, as I promised him, because I saw a patriotic officer, though retired, but not tired of his loyalty to Nigeria is not weakened. And I gave it to the then president, Buhari, and I said so. And I said, sir, go through it. It is self-explanatory. My advice, I can only advise the president. My advice is that you can call him and he can give you more graphic details of what he saw and what he knows, and his fears about what will happen if this is not nipped in the bud. And so I said, when we lament, as the committee was doing, that we are not exploiting our solid, that is not true. It is being exploited, but it's being done on a large scale illegally.
Yeah,
I stand by that.
Good.
I know it to be the truth, because the general has no business flattering me.
Good.
And I also know that at some other level, there are pockets of everybody talking about sub-nationalities coming to do illegal mining. They are cutting away this kind of. Can you, just like I argued when I was in the NSC, when NPC used to talk about smuggling, and I said, something of such volume, how can it be smuggled out and nobody sees it? Yeah. So you can't have that scale of illegal activity, right, without men and women of power
and resources.
Cover.
Yeah. No, but
and resources. And I said in that state statement in the Senate, I said, can you imagine who can afford a chopper? And it's not every chopper that can carry out that kind of activity. It cannot be a civilian chopper. A chopper that can go irregularly to carry arms, drop, mine the item, whether they are gold, take them out to a location where they prepare them, and they pass through our borders.
Yeah, but what you have said, Senator, is not different from what was reported.
No,
some
what I don't like is the attempt, like when I heard you here saying retired generals. That's not fair.
Some, we're talking about some, yeah.
That's the correct word to say.
Yeah, some generals.
But also, this is not to limit it
to some generals.
To some generals.
Well, fine, but the point...
Perhaps the more appropriate word, because I limited to it because of what that general told me.
Yeah.
And I
understand.
He mentioned to me that some retired generals, very powerful people were connected, were involved in it.
Yeah.
But I also believe that there are other non-generals
who
are powerful, who are also providing cover
for
these foreigners. I mean, let me ask you, you think it's so possible
No.
for something that is so widespread to be taking place, and
that's why you
everybody lament it, except those who should deal with it.
And that's why you raised the issue.
That's right.
Currently, I mean, you talked about the former president. We're not talking about.
Yeah, I was being specific because I did.
Yeah.
On oath, I can swear I did. I know we call it Baba Mengeskia.
Yeah, but when you
he knows I gave it to him.
Yeah, but when you talked about the fact that when you discussed this issue, weren't you talking about the current president or the current executive or president not doing what was done in the Niger Delta by employing military might, to handle this situation? Even if you can't get the generals, I mean, you're not mentioning names. One would ask you why names not being mentioned, for example. But even if you can't, Nigeria can get to some generals or some
those
resource people, yes.
Yeah.
Why can't the nation get to the foreigners you are discussing about and probably arrest them or stop them from doing this?
Now, what I can say is this. There is no need to talk about the present government. If there is a disease that has been there, and I spoke to that disease, and I spoke to the time I became aware of the disease, and I went on to name or describe my source of information and the step I took as a Nigerian to see if the damn power can deal with it. Of course, until it is dealt with. My point is, I did not come to Abuja to lament.
Yeah.
I came to the Senate to listen, to hear cries, to hear stories, and to act on them. And in acting, that's exactly what we did on the floor of the Senate. To say, we have to find courage. If you the story is edited. We withdraw Mr. President's attention to this scale of abuse, this scale of looting of Nigeria solid minerals by foreigners or even by Nigerians themselves. So, and that is what it should be. Every day we sit in the Senate, particularly in the primary, we pass motions urging government, not necessarily because he started the problem, not necessarily because he's not doing something about the matter, but that we want more action. That is why I went on to emphasize. I'm aware, for example.
Don't forget, it's the same APC government, and government is a continuum.
Now, this is the problem you have. Does it matter the color of the government?
No. What I'm saying, government
doesn't matter.
That's what I just said. Government is a continuum.
That's right. Now, this government, I'm aware, I think the current Minister of Solid Minerals has taken steps to recruit what they call marshals, you know, to deal with these, some of these illegal miners. That for me is a wonderful initiative. It is to acknowledge that something illegal is going on and it cannot be allowed.
And one must also commend you that you raised the issue.
Before the
I mean, it was good that you raised the issue.
But
because that's what you're there to do as a senator.
Yeah, but beyond this commendation, let me finish the totality of my statement. I said, I appreciate that initiative, that somebody in the ministry, the president has appointed a minister, and the minister is concerned that we can't be here and people are cutting away our natural endowment.
Yes.
And he has set up some marshals, etc., which is probably what is within his control. But I said, I would like to see government deploying the same amount of force in protecting our solid minerals and dealing with those who are involved in illegal mining, just like illegal bunkering, with the same force of JTF, Joint Military Command, to deal with anyone involved. So that, let it not be seen as if, when it comes to oil, we are ready. Because you are touching our vein. And then this other one, because we don't have the numbers, we seem to think that we can use less force. And because the people involved are powerful, only superior power can neutralize them. I said so.
Very correct.
Because for me, this is what the president will expect of a loyal senator. Right? To draw his attention and to draw the country's attention so that when those people are being dealt with, you know this country. Somebody will bring in political motive. Oh, this general, maybe this retired general, this retired PAMSEC, this former labor leader, one comrade, maybe because he made the statement last week, that's why they are dealing with him. Let people know that these are serious economic crimes.
That should be dealt
because part of the complexity of dealing with criminality in Nigeria is the ethnic dimension that is evoked and sometimes compounded by political affiliation. And once they evoke the ethnic dimension, and even sometimes compounded by religion, and then summarized by political affiliation, the debate is closed. Everybody becomes blind.
All right, so
but the good news,
government is doing something.
The good news,
that's what you just said.
They are doing something. I mean, they've recruited people to deal with it.
Okay.
But I think that the weapon that these guys, according to that general, and I believe him, the weapons that are used to protect these illegal miners, I don't think those marshals are so well equipped with such the same level of offensive weapon.
But why can't
counter?
Why should?
Now, we are not going to ask me this. The point is, the essence of democracy and of parliament is to raise issues
fine,
as they arise. Now, this has arisen because the committee was lamenting. And I said to the committee, our business in the Senate is not to lament. We should pass a resolution urging the government to deal decisively with these people, exactly with the same force that we are dealing with those who were involved in illegal bunkering and who are probably still involved in it. So JTF is still active in ensuring that our liquid gold is protected.
Those accusations were serious, obviously serious. Today, he is trying to streamline what he said. And he is saying that he never said that the retired general, he never said all the retired generals were behind the thefts. I mean, the oil theft we experience in this country. But he said some.